guessed it now. King, Cawdor, Glamis, all as the weird women promised. And I fear thou playedst most foully for it. Yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? Hush no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with a most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
I should have else desired your good advice at this day's council. But we'll take tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt now and supper. Go not my horse, the better I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. But of that tomorrow, when therewithal we shall have course of state, craving us jointly. Hie you to horse. Adieu till you return at night. Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my good lord. Our time does call upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night, to make society the sweeter welcome. We'll keep ourselves till supper time alone. Well, then, God be with you. Sir, a word with you. Attend those men, our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which will be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valour to act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. Then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my grip, thence to be wrenched by an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered. Put rankers in the vessel of my peace only for them, and mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man to make them kings, the seed of Banquo kings. Rather than so come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's that? Now go to the door and stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness.
Well then, now have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he in the times past who held you so under fortune, who you thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you at our last conference. Passed in probation with you how you were born in hand, how crossed the instruments, who wrought with them, and all things else which might to half a soul and to a notion crazed say, thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did, sir. And went further. which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospelled to pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogue ye go for men, as hounds and greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, choughs, water rugs, and demi-wolves are clept all by the name of dogs. The valued file distinguishes the swift, the slow, the subtle, the housekeeper, the hunter, every one according to that gift which bounteous nature hath in him closed, whereby he does receive particular additions from the bill that writes them all alike. And so of men.
Huh?
No. If you have a station in the file, not in the worst rank of manhood, say it, and I will put that business in your bosoms, whose execution takes your enemy off.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed that I'm reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I another.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
Well, true, my lord.
So is he mine. And in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. And though I could with barefaced power sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not, for certain friends who are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down. And thence it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We will, my lord, perform what you command us.
Though our lives
Your
stand at the
spirits shine through you. Within this hour, at most, I will acquaint you where to plant yourselves, advise you of the perfect spy of the time, the moment on it, for it must be done tonight, and something from the palace. Always thought that I require a clearness. And with him to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. Fleance, his son, who keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
I'll call upon you straight. It is concluded. Abide within. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king, I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Naught's had, all spent, when our desire is God without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with him they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whiles our poor Malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint, and both the worlds suffer, ere we will eat our meal in fear, and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we to gain our peace have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave, after life's fitful fever. He sleeps well. Treason's done his worst, nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign love, nothing can touch him further.
Come on! Gentle, my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love. And so I pray thee you let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence both with eye and tongue, and safe the while that we must lave our honours in these flattering streams, and make our faces visards to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this!
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind. Dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo and his fleeing live.
But in them nature's copy's not eternal.
Now there's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then without jocund, ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate summons the shard-born beetle, with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand cancel and tear to pieces that great band which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, whiles night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelst at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So, prithee go with me.
Macbeth! He leads not our mistress, since he delivers our offices. What we have to do to the direction just.
Well, stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the lated traveller apace to gain the timely end.
Hark! I hear horses.
And is he?
His horses go about almost a mile, but he does usually. So all men do, from hence to the palace gate, make it their walk. A light. A light. 'Tis he. Stand to it.
It will be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Treachery! Fly! Yeah! Fly! Thou mayest revenge! Oh, slave!
Who did strike out the light?
Was not the way?
There's but one down. The sun is fled.
We've lost best half of our affair.
Let's away and see how much is done.
Sit down at first and last. The hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Ourself will mingle with society and play the humble host.
Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time we shall require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends. For my heart speaks. They are welcome.
See, they encounter thee with their hearts, thanks. Both sides are even. Here I'll sit in the midst. But first, we'll drink a measure the table round.
There's blood upon my face.
'Tis Banquo's, then.
'Tis better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good that did the like for fleers. If thou didst it, thou art the nonpareil.
Most royal sir, Fleance escaped.
Then comes my fit again. I'd else been perfect, whole as the marble, founded as the rock, as broad and general as the casing air. But now I'm cabined, cribbed, confined, bound into saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo's safe.
Aye, my good lord. Safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenched gashes on his head, the least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the groaned serpent lies, the worm that's fled has nature that in time shall venom breed. No teeth for the present.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheers.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now, good digestion waits on appetite.
And health on both.
Here had we now our country's honour. Roofed were the graced person of our Banquo present, who may be rather challenged for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Will please your highness grace us with your royal company?
The table's full.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will again be well. If much you note him, you will offend him and extend his passion. Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one that dare look on that, which might appall the devil.
Proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts. Impostors to true fear would well become a woman's story at a winter's fire authorized by her grandam. Shame itself! Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Behold! Look! How say you? What care I if thou canst know? Speak! If charnel houses and our graves must send those that we bury back, our monuments shall be the maws of kites.
But quite unmanned in folly.
If I stand here, I saw him!
Fie for shame!
The time has been that when the brains were out, the man would die. And there an end. But now they rise again with 20 mortal murders on their crowns and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me. My most worthy friends, I have a strange infirmity which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all. Then I'll sit. Give me some wine. Fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss, would he were here. To all and him, we thirst.
And the pledge.
Avaunt and quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee! Thy bones are marrowless. Thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good Piers, but as a thing of custom, 'tis no other. Only it spoils pleasure of the time.
What man dare I dare approach thou like the rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros, the Heckin tiger, take any shape but this, and my firm nerves will never tremble or be alive again, and dare me to the desert with thy sword, if trembling I inhabit, then protest with the baby of a girl. Hence, horrible shadow, and real mockery, hence. Being gone, I am a man again. Pray, you sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with most admired disorder.
Can such things be and overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange even to the disposition that I owe, and now I think you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby in your cheek when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
I pray you, speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night. And better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood. They say blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move, and trees to speak. Auguries and understood relations have by maggot pies and choughs and rooks brought forth the secrets to man of blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning. Which is which?
How sayest thou, Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them, but in his house I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, for now I am bent to know by the worst means the worst. For mine own good all causes shall give way. I am in blood stepped in so far that should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go on. Strange things I have in head, which will to hand, which must be acted, ere they may be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come me to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young, indeed.
My former speeches have but hit your thoughts, which can interpret further. Only, I say, things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Marry, he was dead. And the right valiant Banquo walked too late. Whom you may say, if please you, Fleance killed. For Fleance fled. Men must not walk too late. Who cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damned fact, how it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not, straight, impious rage, the two delinquents tear, that were the slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was not that nobly done? Aye, and wisely too, for 'twould have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say, he hath borne all things well. And I do think that had he Duncan's sons under his key, as, and please heaven, he shall not, they should find out what 'twere to kill a father. So should Fleance. But peace, for from broad words, and 'cause he failed his presence at the tyrant's feast, I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell where he bestows himself?
The noble Malcolm lives in the English court and is received of the most pious Edward. Thither Macduff is gone, to pray the holy king to lend his aid, that by his help we may again bring to our tables meat, sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquets bloody knives, do faithful homage and receive free honours all which we pine for now. And this report has so exasperated the king that he prepares for some attempt of war.
Sent he to Macduff?
He did. And with an absolute sir, not I, the clouded messenger turns me his back and hums as who should say, you'll rue the time that clogs me with this answer.
And that might well advise him to a caution, to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he come, that a swift blessing may soon return to this our suffering country, under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.